episode 93. Here we go, folks. It's Friday night. Pretty good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me and see me, because it looks like I got my tech under wraps. Come on in, everybody. It's Friday night. I intend on having a good one. Let's see. Cool. We got a group in here. Lilith, Malone, and crew. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for attending. William, Fallon in the house, Eric, Mark, and some people that aren't in the chat. If you're not in the chat, you gotta be. Because if you chat, you get points. If you get points, you can go get a mystery box or a poster. We've had many people win mystery boxes and posters. They're free. You just gotta chat and gain points. And if you want to know how to get more points, you don't have to spend a dime. You just gamble away. And the instructions are below in the description. This is a live... Oh, great. Thank you, Lilith. Good to know. If you're new, you got to know this is a chatty show. So drop in and say hi. We all read the chats, including me. Hey, there you go. Jay Webb. What's up? See? Yeah, this is a live show. I chat. Oh, Fallon, you got it. Yay. And on top of that, here's the deal. Hey, what's up, Marvis? Yeah, this is going to be a fun episode. If you're new to the channel, look, I run this. It's free. It's, donations are cool, and I do get great donations. People, even when it's offline, throw in donations, which is cool. But usually it happens live, and it all goes into the show. I do this full time. Second, the best thing you can do is go right down here. There's a little box, a little round thing. If you click on that, subscribe, hit the notify bell, like the video, it helps. All right, I gotta say something. Today, 1 year ago, I announced this channel and these shows. So it's been 1 year since I announced it. I'm at 93 episodes. I'm just below 1,000. It is incredibly difficult to get to 1,000, but I'm right getting close. So thank you, everybody. We're getting there. A lot of you share the channel. Tell your friends. That's what I'm looking for. You all know that. What else? Today was a crazy day, and I mean crazy. I woke up to a million of things I needed to do post-wise and stuff. Achilles, what's up? Oh, there we go. Long-time listener, first-time chatter. What's up, Jay Webb? Welcome. Chat away. We have a really great group in here, chatters. Really stimulating mentally. Let's see how many times I yawn. I'm drinking fake beer tonight. Tonight, I'm on Heineken 0.0, my new favorite fake beer that comes in a can. I prefer some of the other ones, but this one's pretty good. I'm a little jacked on caffeine. And what else? God, today? Woo! So last weekend was my birthday. Thank you to anybody that reached out and said happy birthday. I'm one of those dudes that doesn't make a big deal out of birthday stuff. I don't hate it, but I celebrate my birthday every day. I really do. If there's something I want, I buy it. If something I want to see, I see it. I don't wait for my birthday. My birthday, usually, the only thing I really like doing is hanging out with my friends and family. Close friends and close family. That's it. And I got to do it. I spent my birthday with my kids and my Toilet Boy bandmate and his boyfriend from a long time ago, which I haven't seen in years. And we went and saw Otis Day at the venue that I perform at. That was my birthday. So, great night. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to be honest. Listen to this. Sweet story about my little one. I didn't have a birthday cake. I didn't ask for one. I didn't expect one. But around 11 p.m. at night, my little girl was like, "You're getting a birthday cake." And I was like, "What?" So she skateboarded to the deli, bought the ingredients, which we usually have most of them. And at midnight, she whipped up a birthday cake because she thought we had to do it. That's a cool kid. What else? Yeah, soon I'm going to do my anniversary episode, and it's going to be cool. What else? I had so many little things to say. Very important. So check this out. Before we get into the meat of the episode, today, 2 things happened. 3 things happened. 4 things happened. My band Opulence. We've released an album digitally, but never hard copy. And the label, which if you follow me on Instagram, Cardone Magic, you'll see right here, they're putting out an Opulence tape. They're putting out a tape, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this. Folks, look at this. This is called the Glamorous Edition of our 20th anniversary album. First of all, I heard it. I heard a test press. It's amazing. And it comes with a 7-inch because not everything fit on one record. But we also have new t-shirts, and if you get this deluxe edition, you get t-shirts and trading cards and guitar picks, and I mean, there's like playing cards, and I mean, it's crazy. I'm flattered that this is coming out. And look at this new shirt. I love this shirt. And look at the back. 20 years of blood, guts, and mascara. I love it. I'm a fan of this shirt. I'm proud that we were part of this and it's coming out. And it's called Another Riff Raff Label. Thank you. I'm flattered that people would want to keep our stuff going. So, Another Riff Raff Label on Instagram. You can now pre-order all of these vinyl different editions and the t-shirts and the mugs and all this other stuff. James, what's up, James? You're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to have fun. We're live. What else? So that record came out. That label put out our Opulence tape, and we have announced our show, and you can get tickets. This is you got to go to Instagram, Cardone Magic. Follow me, and follow the things I'm telling you to get tickets on. You'll see. I'm posting all the time now. Wits End is the venue. The tickets are up on Eventbrite. It's for October 29th. It's Toilet Boys live at Rockaway Beach. And I announced it here already. We have a guest guitar player, Paris Mayhew from the Cro-Mags. We've been rehearsing. We had a day, Wednesday. So fun. It was just me and him going through the riffs, making sure we're locked in before we have a formal rehearsal. And we hung out and had a great day. I mean, we did the hot tub party. We went and had lunch. And we chatted about life, music business, band stuff, rock history. My God, that dude was playing in bands. They started in 81. And, one of their first tours was with Motorhead. I mean, he's got crazy rock and roll stories. And I got him too, so we were just going nuts. And it was great. And we were chatting about bands that we like and bands that we don't like. And it was beautiful. So he is playing the next 2 shows with us. It's going to be great. and I can't wait. So yeah, that all happened today. It was like, you know that old saying, when it rains, it pours? And then on top of it, my phone died today. My iPhone got a little wet, and it's bad. I can't do anything on it. I can get calls. I can put my earpiece in and get messages. I can also call people. I can say, H-E-Y. I don't want to say it because it'll do it. S-I-R-I. Hey. The phone's name. Siri. I don't want to, if I say it, it starts to go. So yeah. That happened today, right in the middle of me being busy and making posts. So now, tomorrow morning, a surf day, I got to get up and go deal with T-Mobile. Not cool. But when it rains, it pours, and that's the way it goes. All right, we're getting close here. I'm going to start. What else do I have to say? Something interesting. So this show that you're all watching, if you're for the first time in here, you will see quickly that it quickly goes into some sort of philosophical notion, which has become my hobby of sorts, and it's kind of taken over my life. I had a life-changing year with just a simple notion of, I started to read some new things that I wish, the cramps. It's funny, this shirt is newer. I have an original of this shirt. You know what? I'm going to get it right now. Pause. I don't normally do this. Hold on. Okay, look at this. This shirt here is a year old. This shirt here, what's left of it, you can literally see through it. This is 30 years old. And I still wear it occasionally. 30-year-old t-shirt, 1-year-old t-shirt. It smells weird. It doesn't stink. It just smells odd. And it's so thin. You can't see here, but I can literally just look through this. It's so thin. It's almost clear. Thank you. Wow. All right. So let me keep this down here. Oh, we got a good group in here, folks. Come on in. All right. What else? Oh, so this show goes into, always some sort of neuroscience. And on Instagram, I found there's a new sobriety type thing that I saw, and I was like, ooh. So I understand how a 12-step programs work from a psychological point of view. I've studied it in detail, and I get why it works and what the flaws are and the psychology of the whole using God to get... I get it. I get how it works. I don't agree with all of it. I think some of it I agree with and some of it I don't as a way of change, whether it be booze, drugs, or any other thing you'd like to shift. Well, somebody started a service where they're using neuroscience to kind of trick out how you deal with sobriety. And I'm like, wow, finally, someone's going to look into this. No drugs. They're not going to give you a pill. It's a way to get you to want to change your habits. And to change your habits, as you hear me say, you have to change your belief system around them for it to actually work. You can fake it, but you might not make it unless you actually start to not force yourself, but focus on activities that will eventually take hold and cause change. Not easy. So these guys are using neuroscience, and I'm going to look more into it and see what it is, because I'm interested in this. When somebody's using neuroscience for a change, that's pretty cool. That's what I've been reading and studying all year. All right, let's start talking about our subject. Let me check out, all right, let me see here. What am I forgetting here? Oh yeah, almost forgot before we start. So, if you follow me, and you were part of my Kickstarter, it's done, it's going to print. Here's the thing. It was supposed to be done by October 31st. I think we're getting them that week, which means we'll start shipping them October 31st, around that date, literally like within a few days. So it'll be around that time. It's out of our power. It has to do with China. There's all sorts of things. I'm dealing with somebody in Hong Kong. But at any rate, the last thing we had to design was the stamp. Do I have any cards here? Every pack of playing cards has a stamp, a seal of sorts, to show that it's a new deck. Well, we had to do that. And I don't want to spoil too much, but there's the stamp. So we decided that with some help with Peter H. Gilmore, the high priest of the Church of Satan, with some of the Latin, we wanted it to have a meaning when you open the cards. So me and the artist Stuart Palm decided to do... Oh, I'm hiccuping. We decided to make the seal of God. And for you to open the pack, you have to tear the seal of God, which we thought was kind of a symbolic thing that would be kind of neat. So there you go. Yeah, so that's coming soon. So if you kickstarted it, get ready. You're going to be getting some cool playing cards very soon. Listen, I'm excited too. I'm going to start using them for certain tricks. And we're working on the video. If you kickstarted the video and the live conference where we talk in detail about stuff that no one gets to hear, that's all coming up in the next month or so. I can't wait. It's exciting. That's right. That's why we did it. We made it. We wanted it to be like, well, if you break the stamp, you're taking not a chance, but you're taking an action right there, just to open the cards. Most people won't read it; they'll just tear them open. But they're going to be really nice. Okay. Tonight's episode. Boom! Rubber skeletons and circus memories. It was supposed to happen on Monday, and I had a tech problem, so it fell apart. Last second, I couldn't get the sound to work. I don't know what to do. When something's not working, I don't know what to do. Even Zalthon can't help me. Rubber skeletons and circus memories. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about literally what the circus meant to me growing up. What it means to me to get to be a part of lots of different circus groups. And my favorite thing about going to the circus when I was little rubber skeletons. And I'm going to do close-ups of some amazing rubber skeletons that I bought at the circus, that now some of them are really valuable, which is kind of weird. No one would have thought that. So circus, I mean, how many of us went to the circus as little kids? I grew up going to a Shriner Circus in Altoona, Pennsylvania at a Jaffa Mosque. So it wasn't in a tent, it was in a Shriner building, but it was a great venue. It wasn't too big and it wasn't too small. I remember it being a really good venue to see the circus. And I literally have very, 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 very vivid, strong memories of going. And they'll always be a part of me to the day I die. And it's sad that the circus is, as we know it in its traditional form, is basically gone. Mostly due to changing times and animal rights stuff and all sorts of stuff, which we'll talk about today. Yawn 1. Fake beer makes me yawn, folks. But one of my favorite memories of the circus is when they were coming to town. My mom would drive me there, and we would hang out and watch them load in. They would show up in trucks and trailers, and, you know, you got to see the elephants walking outside in the street. We got to see how complex it was. If you ever watch them setting up a circus, it is a finely tuned instrument. It's highly complex. And I remember that. And one of my biggest memories of the circus. So you'd walk into the Jaffa Mosque, And I remember you'd go up, and there were like ramps to get you to where the arena was. And the first thing you notice is the smell of sugar, urine, and elephant shit. So you have this like, it's the circus. That's the smell. Sweet and animal. It's kind of an amazing odor. And then the next odor that I know, and I remember seeing it, like I'd walk in the arena, and I would turn, and there were the dealers, the people selling circus junk, blow up little figurines, pendants. Nobody buys pendants anymore. And my favorite thing, rubber items imported from Asia. That would be snakes, spiders, sharks, alligators, skeletons, monsters, all sorts of stuff, dinosaurs. And, oh yes, is that the rodeo? What's the RB? Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. Oh, yeah. So I didn't get to go to that when I was a little kid, James. It was far away. They didn't come to where I lived. I got to see them eventually. But I grew up with Shiner circuses, which mostly seemed like a lot of the guys in the circus were from Central America or South America. Lots of Latino guys and gals. But also there was some Russian people too mixed in. It was kind of a mixed match, I remember, which I want to talk about. So I remember the smell of the booth that sold all the rubber stuff. You could smell it. It smelled weird. It smelled like rubber. And I remember a lot of the rubber goods at the time, they either came from Hong Kong or Taiwan or Japan. Japan's old before my time. Made in Japan, that's like before. Then it became made in Taiwan, made in Hong Kong. Now everything's made in China or Bangladesh. But at the time, it was that. Oh, here we go. So here, we got some people right in here. You were with Ringling Brothers. Listen, I've heard everybody I know that's worked in Ringling, and I know a lot. Do you know Bongar? I don't know who M. Avis. Do I know you? I don't know some of these names. I know you, but I might not know the name in here. A lot of people I know that work for Ringling told me that the animal care was pretty damn good, especially with elephants and stuff. Some of the other circuses I'm sure weren't, but from what I heard, it was pretty good. I want to talk about that in a second. I watched live the hearing on circus legalities. In New York City, we have one of those channels that just shows city stuff, you know? And I'm watching the channel, and I'm like, oh my God, they're doing the hearing. It's the circus people versus the city. And they started banning elephants in shows and bringing them state to state. Like, you can't bring elephants across state lines. And when that happened, the circus was like, dude, we're done. So they got rid of elephants, and then 1 year later, their ticket sales went down. They pulled the plug. I watched the live hearing. I saw the people against circus bringing up the animal abuse, and I watched the circus people defend themselves. They were terrible. I was shocked. I was like, I'm not even a member of Ringling Brothers, but I could defend this way better than you. This is terrible. So at any rate, yes, I used to go to. Yep. That's it. I've been to that one, Lilith. So I remember shopping at the circus. I remember buying, a souvenir, which I'm going to show you a whole bunch that I've saved. But I'm going to talk about the routines and the acts that I remember the most that had an impact on me as a little kid. I remember the clowns. Why is my thing beeping? What is that beep? My computer's making weird noises. The clowns there were Shriner clowns, and then there were the ones that were in the circus, the actual circus, and we had local Shriner clowns. And I remember them being cool, but it was more like you had a program, and then you'd go around and get them to sign it. And I remember as a little kid being like, why do we buy a program? And it's like, oh, to get the clowns to sign it. And I was like, why don't I just bring a notebook? Why do I have to buy a program that's nothing but ads? It's just ads, local ads, and like a little thing in the middle that told you what Circus Act was next. I thought it was a scam. And then it became one of those things where you had to have the flashing light. That's the third or fourth yawn. I'm very sorry. I got to stop drinking fake beer before my shows. It's so tasty. So I remember that, the clowns, but the actual routines in the circus, I always liked the lions and tigers because I liked watching them set the cage up. They had to do a really quick cage job, pull in the mini cages, they line them up, they open the in-betweens. It's like very systematic. I always thought it was fascinating. I always thought if I was in the circus, that would be my gig, lion tamer. Always loved it. Now, I remember every year they had what I called the Oddball Act, something that was always different. And one year it was like, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see a man who can do a handstand on his finger. And I was like, all right. And this little man walked out, put his finger down on this thing on the stage in the middle of the circus ring, and he did a handstand on his finger. I swear, even as a little kid, I knew it was a magic trick. I was like, you can't do a handstand on your pointy finger. And the flashlights, yeah. Monkeys on, yes. Yeah, it's true. The flashlights, the elephants marching through Lincoln Tunnel, amazing. So this guy did a handstand on his finger. I knew it was fake. I was like, what an act. How did he get booked? He built some gadget, and he got booked in the circus, I guess. I'll bet he was related to somebody else, and that was his little bit. If anybody's ever heard of these acts, please tell me. The other act that I remember that made no sense was the living statue. And then there was some dramatic circus music, and it was like a man with lots of muscles doing a pose, and he was on a rotating platform, and he spun. And that was it. And he just kind of spun around. Made no sense. I remember a really good act where a juggler came out and did a Diablo, which is the Chinese yo-yo spool and the two sticks and the string. He came out, he did a really dynamic Diablo act. You shoot it in the air and you catch it on the string and you spin and pop. Spin, pop. Right? Then he does 2 and they're going around. 3, 4. Then, music change. He comes out with a little tiny one. Gets a bigger one. The grand finale was one the size of an oil drum. And they did a Diablo that way. I liked that. I thought that was a great dynamic juggling act. I remember seeing a little bit of magic and not being impressed. Yeah, even at an early age, I remember the magician in the circus wasn't what I wanted. It was weak. I remember it was the first time I saw a lot of the Latino community. Where I grew up, we didn't have many. A tiny amount. And so whenever they were in town, it was like, wow, there's like an aerial act from Mexico. This is cool. It was the first time I saw an elephant, a lion, a tiger. And people forget in the old days, the circus was your only glimpse to anything in the outside world. If you lived in Iowa, it's the first time you saw maybe an Asian guy or even a black guy or somebody from another country in Europe or somebody from South America. An exotic animal. It was literally the world coming to your town. And it was, you didn't have a museum in the town. You didn't have a zoo. You had the circus. They were the museum and the zoo and the show and the sporting event. So circus is and was an important thing, As I got older, I still would go to the circus. I never didn't want to go to the circus. And then I started working in them as a magic guy. And I was getting some good ones. I mean, Bindlestiff Family Circus, I think the biggest gig I did with them was in a hockey arena in Canada. In New Brunswick. We were doing like that kind of stuff. And no elephants. Dog Act, maybe. That stuff like that, which is what's popular. We still have Big Apple Circus. Cole Brothers and Clyde Beatty were my favorites of the tented ones. They're gone. Yeah, wow. I mean, we have somebody in here. This Mavis guy. Mavis 1, Marvis. I can't read that. Mavirs. Mavis 1. What did you do in the circus? Clown? I know a lot of clowns. I know a couple people that just worked. You know, they were just part of the crew. It's a big show, folks. It really is and was the greatest show on earth. It's massive. I'm curious if we have any of the same friends. Adam Kukler, Michael Bongar. Who else do I know that was in Ringling? I hear it's not easy. The pay is not great, but it really is life-changing. And in another lifetime, I would have gone to clown college maybe, but I'm not a comedian clown guy, but I am fascinated by traditional clowning and prop making. Yeah, any thoughts? I'm curious what you guys think. I really, the circus as a child really opened my eyes to a lot of things. It was also theater without it being theater. It was a different type of performance I could see. We didn't have variety shows where I grew up. So, you know. Oh, you're down under. Wow. Yeah, horses and dogs. Domestic animals is what it's become, which is fine. Kevin! Your floor crew. Okay. Yeah, they did. They do that sometimes. Wow, there you go. What's up, Kevin? Wow, well, thank you for being in here and sharing that. It's cool that we have actual Ringling people in here. I should interview one of my clown buddies, maybe, or Michael Bongar. He might have taught at clown college. He books me as an agent sometimes. He runs an agency, Bongar Biz, and he's studied under Lou Jacobs, who's one of the most famous clowns who ever lived. Yeah. Now, I'm going to start putting out here some of these jigglers. Let me do a hand cam. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what these are. They have names. They're called in the monster toy world jigglers because they're jiggly. But this one here's got some weird greening on it, and it's in bad shape, but it's still intact. The reason why there's a hook at its head is this became a tree ornament when I was a little kid. That was one of my favorite ones. Here's another jiggler that... I'm going to push this up a bit. There we go. How about this guy? Look at this one. Look at how weird this one is. So, where's this one made? These are like made in Hong Kong and in Taiwan. So these now, this one here's got some value to it. They're also called, these little jiggler guys, super monsters. That's one other title. Here's one that's valuable. Here's a mummy. This also became a tree ornament. This is one of my most prized possessions. He's got a little cobra on his shoulder. He is missing a couple fingers. But it is a jiggler. And it still smells like the circus. It still has the smell. Here's one that I bought. I wish I remember what year. Look at this jiggler. This is a weird looking kind of sea monster guy that I've had my whole life. The only thing missing is that the very tip of his tail is kind of off, but it's one of my favorite ones. Now, the next two, I don't think I got this at the circus, but I remember seeing it at the circus because it was a really cheap toy. If you have this King Kong in a package, it's worth a few $100s now. It's just a big old plasticky King Kong. But here's the one that really is valuable. Well, okay. I have the package for this, a photograph of it. This is an actual, was released as a Godzilla toy. Even though Godzilla is never green. Came from the cartoon. They were cheap. These were really inexpensive. And here's a really valuable one still with the tag. This is a Godzilla made by Ben Cooper. And the Ben Cooper ones, this is still tagged. It's an actual official Godzilla toy. It says 1980 on it. Toho Company. And on the back, it says Ben Cooper, Brooklyn, New York. Made in Hong Kong. And it's still tagged. That's in good shape. Now, how I got him. Yeah, these were cool Christmas ornaments, some of them. I got this as a present because in Japan, I bought a bunch of Godzilla toys. And the store was being cool and said, hey, I'm going to throw something in. And they threw that in. And now that's really valuable. I'll look up later. But it's a Ben Cooper jiggler. It's a licensed product, too. Very cool. Let me see if this camera does it justice. Yeah. And it's supposed to be Godzilla, even though clearly it's just a dinosaur toy. It doesn't have the... and then here, look at this one up close. This guy here... Look at the detail in this. This is one of my favorite ones in the back. And Mr. Mummy. Look at this guy. I wish you could smell them. I mean, this was on my Christmas tree for many, many, many years. I had to go in the Christmas box to get it out. It still is. If I do a tree, these are some of the things that go on it. This one here is really fascinating, and I have the package, a photograph of what the package looks like. It has a really great package. I wish I saved it. This one's a little more authentic to Godzilla, even though it's green. And his mouth used to open and close. This is a bendy. You know, it's got bendy. So, those jigglers came out in the 60s. They were inexpensive toys. You could make them in, places that had cheap factories. James, thank you. Oh, thank you, brother. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, Fallon brought up what kind of future is for the circus. Yeah, I think you're right, Fallon. It's Cirque du Soleil. It's people. It's okay. I get it. I mean, we're moving on. I mean, it's just weird because animals like tigers and like white tigers, they can only exist in the zoo or in a show or as a pet. They're not wild. They can't live wild anymore. There's no land. I mean, it's all shrunk. It's sad. I mean, a lot of people get upset. I mean, yeah, our nasty habits have caused pollution and climate change and all sorts of crap that clearly has damaged the animal kingdom. I mean, we're a bacteria of sorts, right? But I gotta say, 99% of everything that's ever lived on the face of the earth is extinct. Except for a couple sharks, a couple crustacea, and a couple bugs. So, yeah, I did keep them intact. Oh, you have Rao Partha figures? Ooh. You're like me. You saved things that people threw out. That's the secret to collecting. Save what people are throwing in the garbage. This is considered a garbage toy. You know, it's like, it's junk. Well, no, it's not. People really want these. The smell. God, they smell the same. Nothing on earth smells like this anymore, this type of latex smell. And it lasted. It didn't get crumbly. I would like to know what kind of latex this is. It's the kind that doesn't rot. Most latex gets hard and gets crumbly, or it gets goopy. If you collect rubber masks, you know this. They don't last forever. So I'd like to know what kind of rubber this is because it's in great shape. It's not going to die. It feels soft as the day I bought it. God, I love that smell. So, tigers. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, their natural habitat's gone. I mean, when I saw that the black rhino is extinct, the last one died, it's like, yeah, I think everything's going to go one by one. And the sharks and the cockroaches keep going, you know? Probably very toxic. Yeah, it might be. It smells very... This one's the stinkiest. It smells very petroleum-ish. Yeah, it definitely is. Well, if you watched my show on squishies, go back and look it up. I found out that squishies are bad for you. They are. They're toxic. PBA. What's PBA? Petroleum. British Petroleum. I don't know. This first skeleton, it was around. This one's in bad shape. This one looks like it's ready to fall apart. So I'm very cautious of how I... Yeah, he's not so good. So what does this all mean? I don't know. I've had some weird influences in my life. And I've saved toys that were garbage, and I made them important parts of my life. I don't know. I've never not wanted to get rid of my childhood toys. When I get older, or if I'm dying, I'll start giving them away, or I'll sell them. I know nothing lasts forever, including all this junk. I mean, in another 100 years, most of this will probably be in landfill. Just the way it is. In another 100 years, I won't be here, most likely, unless they invent some sort of weird miracle life extender. But, yeah, I'll be gone, and most of this stuff will be too. This show might exist online somewhere. So if you're watching 100 years from now, what's up? It might not. Everything might get erased. I mean, we could have a solar flare that erases all of this stuff. Some sort of toxic solar wind. And then it is really all gone. So what does it all mean? Well, it means that I felt it important to... Well, yeah, my kids will take some of this. They're probably not going to keep it all. No way. It's too much. They don't even know what... They know what most of it is, but not all. Oh my God, are those jigglers up there? Here's a toy that's valuable that I'll bet people threw away. This is a Remco finger puppet of Creature from the Black Lagoon. And it's an actual finger puppet that comes out. This is worth like $300-400. Yeah, this was like a junk toy that nobody really cared about. So what does this all mean? It means that I felt it important to be nostalgic about my childhood. I did. I really did. I never thought that I would abandon those sentiments because they really were real sentiments. That's why when I meet people like, oh, I used to like Godzilla, or I used to like, I'm like, used to? How do you used to? I have things that I like a lot that I might not be focused on right now, but I'll return to them. Everything I like goes in cycles. I'll be like last spring. I mean, how many of us were excited for Godzilla, the Godzilla King Kong movie? I was a sucker for it. I loved it. I've seen it now 3 times. So during that, I got back into Godzilla movies again, right? So I'll fall out. But it's not that I used to be into it. I would never abandon it. It doesn't make sense. So, and I also thought that it kept me kind of in check of where I came from. It also gave me a sense of wonder about feeling like a child and being excited over a toy. I also like showing people these toys. I get a little bit of a dopamine blast by the notion of me sharing. When someone comes to my house and they're like, oh my God, I used to have that Shogun Warriors Godzilla. And I'm like, I have it. You want to see it? And they get to play with it. I like that. I like letting people go back in time and see some of these old toys that people forgot about. I get a lot out of it. I look around, I'm like, my God, I have a lot of junk, but I like taking care of it. I like curating it. It's a museum for me. It's a museum to stimulate my creative process, and I do like sharing it with others. I do. And slowly I will start giving it away or selling it. You're right. Yeah, the new movie did bring it back. Yeah, you're either passionate about something or you're not, says Peter, which is totally true. Nothing should just be a phase if you truly know yourself. Exactly. Bam. I love Peter Benedetti's, like, he knows how to write it out, like, straight out, which is exactly it. You're right. If you know yourself and you know what you like, this is easy. And not only is it easy, you just, again, how do you get rid of it? You don't. If it's a genuine feeling or something that really is truly part of your character, you just don't dump it. That's why when I meet people that they keep changing their game up a lot all the time, I'm like, I mean, it's fine. People can do whatever they want. It's just not how I go about business or appreciate that as much. Okay, yeah, being a punk fan. Oh, I used to be a punk when I was younger. So when people tell that to me, Jay Webb said something great. Childhood wonder maintained through adulthood is powerful magic. Not only is it powerful magic, it's my whole mission. It's what I do. It's what I get paid to do. I make people experience wonder. The thing about being punk rock to me, it might not necessarily be mode of dress. I mean, I still wear punk rock t-shirts. I also like the idea of if you get tattoos, they're permanent. You know, if you cross the line, that's it. Well, today people get tattoos for different reasons. They don't mean the same. But when I got them, it meant that you were no longer a normal person. You stepped out a bit. You've joined the other side. Honestly, to me, punk rock was never a look or even a music choice necessarily. It was here. It was how you thought. It's non-binary thinking. It's thinking outside of the box. It's not joining team A or B. It's looking for team C, D, and E and all the side note weirdos. And it's punk rock is seeing a coin, and you got two sides. No, you got three sides. Look, there's an edge. So to me, punk rock was about how the brain worked, not necessarily. Because I know people that might put the suit and tie on, but they're punk rock as hell right here. I mean, I could put a suit and tie on, but you ain't changing this guy's punk rock brain. To me, punk rock really is a real thing. It's a real energy. It's DIY mixed with being hard to be bought and sold. And the real punk rockers and the real rock and rollers I admire the most were the ones that weren't easily bought and sold. Yeah, toys and collectibles become part of your life. I mean, I used to collect clown type of things, and I don't do that as much, but I never got rid of my clown stuff, my old paintings or toys. Why would I? I still like them. I sold all of my Star Wars toys. The reason? I never was a super fan. I liked the movies as a kid. I didn't hate them. I liked them a lot. But it didn't do to me what Masters of the Universe did, or Flash Gordon, or all the horror movies. They were cool, but they weren't, to me, the end-all, say-all. Star Trek, to me, was just as good as Star Wars, but a lot of people didn't like Star Trek. So that's what this all means. That's what this show's about. I wanted it to be about things that I experienced in childhood that stayed with me, influenced me. And these toys, it all started with, I was in my kitchen the other day, and this one lives in my kitchen. This jiggler. Dead man. He looks like the tar man from Return of the Living Dead. And I was like, God, I should do a show on jigglers. And then that was it. I was like, To me, the jiggler is the circus. The only thing I never got in the circus, and I think they still make it, and I can look for one. It was the jumbo rubber snake toy that came in a box. And it was curled up in the box. And it wasn't that big. It was like about that fat around. And the snake was maybe 3 feet, 4 feet. Always wanted one. They were always expensive. My mom was like, no, that's too expensive. I think they were like $10 at the time, which was like, whoa. You know, that would be like a $30, $40 toy. These, I remember, were around $1 or $2. They were really inexpensive. Circus toys started to get, I mean, Lilith Malone mentioned the colored lights in the sky. I wish I had that video. I do not have it. She mentioned that the swinging lights, the last Ringling I went to, that swinging light was about $20. It was probably cost $1 to make. Ringling insisted that you had one. They kept turning the lights up. Turn them on. You turn them on, and the lights go, and every kid's got to have one. So think about how much money they make when they do 3 shows a day. So I wanted to end tonight with a story about a circus memory of something really weird. I went to see Ringling at the Garden. Oh, well, do you remember when they had the living unicorn? Ringling had a unicorn in their show. The living unicorn. It was one of the specialty acts. They did a parade of animals, and at the front, they had one of those unicorns where they tampered with its horns so that it grows into one. Yeah, a little inhumane and cruel. Not a little, a lot. At the time, people thought it was controversial. They eventually took it out. If you look it up, look up Ringling Brothers, The Living Unicorn. Well, about 10 years ago, they had an act called Bailey's Comet. And I remember it clearly because throughout the entire show, they kept mentioning, and don't forget to see Bailey's Comet. Stick around, we got Bailey's Comet at the end. It was like, all right, well, what is it? So here it was. It's the grand finale. Oh, here we go. Yes, Francis Ann. All right, I'm going to talk about that after this. Yeah. Wow. Okay, this is cool because I've seen that act. So Bailey's Comet. It's the end of the show. The final aerial act happened. The trapeze act, the elephants. They're doing their final parade. You know, it's the big splashy end, and they're going to do Bailey's Comet. Here it comes. They even had a song, Bailey's Comet. And Ringling Brothers music started to get worse and worse because they stopped doing circus music. They started playing pop music and hip-hop at the circus. Blah. So, Bailey's Comet. They're singing the song. They bring out a cannon. I'm like, okay, it's the man out of the cannon. And they go, and drum roll, pitch darkness. Boom! Bailey's Comet. Nothing happens. I don't know. I don't see anything. Boom! The lights up, and Bailey's Comet. Da, da, da. And I'm like, what the hell was that? Show's over. Everybody's leaving. Everybody looks a little puzzled. So I say to one of the vendors, one of the popcorn guys, hey, what was that? Did something supposed to happen? And he didn't watch it. He's like, oh, and he knew. He's like, oh, it didn't work, did it? And I was like, what was it? I didn't see anything. And he goes, oh, yeah, it didn't work. And I was like, what? And he goes, well, it's man out of a cannon on fire. And I'm like, oh. So what happens, he's doused in lighter fluid. There's a torch. Boom! The man in the cannon shoots, catches on fire. The lights go out, and he lands in the net. Well, what happens if the cannon, if he doesn't catch on fire, you can't see anything because he's painted black. It's in the dark, and you won't see anything. So he gets shot out. Boosh! And then, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was on the front page of the Daily News. You're right, Lilith. It was on the news that when it happened, when they did that. Yeah, it's a little weird. They take them when they're babies and they mess with the horns. I don't know what they do. They give them a surgery. Unnecessary. But this Bailey's Comet, it's funny because I think every so many shows, it happened. It was a flop. So they took it out of the show, obviously. Francis Ann says in the chat, and this is cool, I remember going to the circus, and one act was this guy in a really good ape costume who went into the audience to pick on people, and he went up to my dad and started pretending to pick through his hair. Yeah, that's a traditional act for a gorilla to be running around teasing people. An escaped gorilla, they do that a lot. I love it. Yeah, you were 5 and you were terrified. Me too. I remember seeing a gorilla in a circus at the Sons. I have an early memory of my grandma saying, hey, the Sons of Italy has a circus. We used to hang out in the Sons of Italy clubs. Spaghetti dinners, Zeppeli parties, right? Man, this fake beer's getting to me. I'm getting the hiccups. So, they had a circus and they did the gorilla. They did a act where it was a magic act and a gorilla appeared and then he ran around the crowd and I myself was terrified. Yeah, and I remember the ringmaster had a gun and he was like bang bang and the gorilla ran away. You couldn't do that today. Wow, we had a great group tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a blast. I was like, I'm gonna make a show out of rubber jigglers. Who else do we have? Yeah, folks. Oh, I got this Godzilla toy thing. I'm going to show you a commercial at the end that's cool. But yeah, folks, if you're new to this channel, the least you can do is hit subscribe, hit notify, and if you do the donation thing, it's in the description below where to go. It's a Streamlabs link. You click on it. Unnecessary. What I really am looking for is people hitting the subscribe button. Now, while we're here, check out this commercial I found. Again, a blast from the past from when I was a little kid. Check this out. I've already done an episode on Godzilla toys, and here.
Now, Godzilla!
Godzilla! You can pretend Godzilla turns a mighty castle into a pile of sand.
Go do it, Godzilla!
You control Godzilla's ugly tongue. You can make him stomp, pound his tail, pretending he strikes it all in his way. You can launch Godzilla's claw for the final blow.
We did it!
What will Godzilla do next? It's up to you. Godzilla with a claw that launches, some assembly required, from the Shogun Warrior Collection by Mattel.
Okay, so that toy was kind of life-changing for me. Again, green. They always make him green. But, yeah, that toy right now is in the other room. In the tail, I don't know if you remember from the episode, when I took it off, there's chewing tobacco hidden. I used to hide chewing tobacco in the tail. But, yeah. Thank you, everybody. I had a good time. Yeah, the black rubber one is definitely one of my favorites. It's spooky. It's got a kind of a really creepy look to it. And I do like this Ben Cooper Godzilla a lot. I just like the expression, even though it does not look like Godzilla. Yeah, I like this stuff. I'll never not like this stuff. And if I ever see it for sale in a dollar store, this kind of stuff, I'm all over it. Yeah, thank you, everybody. That was fun. And I will definitely... Yo, yeah, ugly tongue. Well, you know what it is? I think they do that because they're literally selling these toys as your parents are going to hate this. These are the toy your parents are going to hate. So... It shoots its claw and will knock over everything on the table. Yeah, I love it. Peter, thanks for joining in. Folks, if you're in here and you don't know Peter Benedetti's art, find him on Instagram. Peter Benedetti. And also, Cardone Magic is where I'm posting all of this stuff. If you want to get this glamour edition, I only think there's 100 of them. I don't even know how much it costs. I'm going to go look right now. It's probably around $50. My God, maybe more. It's got a freaking... I think it comes with 2 t-shirts, the LP, the 7-inch, a signed photo of the whole band, which is crazy that we're all alive and can still do this. And then a little swag bag of like trading cards, picks, and it looks like an armband. I don't know. And then the shirts. Look at this shirt. I mean, I like it a lot. So I'm flattered that this stuff's going on. Check it out. Cardone Magic on Instagram. Our tickets are on sale for our show. And did I even... Oh, yeah, here it is. Bam. Rockaway Beach, Friday, October 29th. I forget where the tickets are on sale, but again, go to Instagram. And it's going to sell out. And I think the Webster Hall show's sold out too, so. Thank you, everybody. Listen, this is a live show. I am a performer. You are an audience. Without an audience, I have nothing. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for having fun with me. You stimulate me. I learn from you. Hopefully you grab some weird nuggets of stuff and you go learn on your own some new stuff too. That's it. And I'll be here on Monday with another episode. I'm working on a Behind the Devil's Curtain that will be... I think you can just buy the shirts. Yes, it's on another Riff Raff label. So if you go to my Instagram and go look in the stories, you'll see me putting links to all this stuff. Yeah, check it out. And I'll be here on Monday with another show. We're on episode 93. My God, I can't believe it. Monday will be 94. Yeah, in a few weeks, we're going to hit 100 episodes and my anniversary of doing these shows. I'm flattered that we're all still here, and I ain't going to stop, and I promise to make the content of these always interesting. And on that note, thank you. That's it. I'm going to take us out with my outro, and I'm going to go start up my Friday party. Over and out, everybody. Thank you.